Hey guys, I'm back at it again with the Left 4 Dead reading series, blind reactions, whatever you want to call it. This point of view is Lewis's. We're just going to get straight into it. My alarm goes off and I groan as I smack the snooze button. I don't want to go to work today. I never want to again. I never want to go again. I haven't wanted to go to work in a while, and I've been aiming to quit for quite some time now. I'm a junior systems analyst at Franklin Brothers, but I'm never treated very well. I don't know if the Franklin Brothers is actually canon or if I made that up. I mostly print out the data reports for the companies we monitor and stuff, but the boss doesn't seem to like me. He's an older guy with graying hair and he always wears old suits. I sigh, getting out of bed and walking to my bathroom. I open the cabinet with a mirror and pull out my toothpaste and toothbrush. I don't feel like eating breakfast today. I brush my teeth and stare lazily into my reflection. I spit and rinse my mouth, heading back to the room to get dressed. I pull out of the apartment parking lot by 8:45 and I get to work at 8:56. I run inside, clock in, then take my seat in my office. The guy next to me leans over and smiles at me. Hey Lewis, how are you? I smile. I like this guy. He's an older guy, too. He's been here for 30-something years, and he wasn't quite ready to retire. He's beginning to lose his mind, often printing things and rehanding them in. The boss is nice to him. That's good, because this guy doesn't deserve to be treated awful. I'm good. How are you? I've been fine. What do you think of the weather we've been having? The weather. Kind of dreary, but nothing too terrible. I kind of enjoy it when the weather isn't too nice and sunny. Believe it or not, this is Lewis's type of weather. I don't mind it, personally. What are your thoughts? He shrugs. I don't know. I don't pay much attention to it. See, I work in fast food, so sometimes if like the cart is taking too long to like read or something, or if the line is just kind of built, I don't know what the right word is. If the line isn't moving at McDonald's, I just kind of will. I very rarely do I actually start a conversation about the weather, but like the older people will be like, "You like the rain?" I do like the rain, I just don't like getting wet from windshield wipers splashing it in on me. But it's not too bad. And also, I love my job. I love helping customers and stuff. I'm a very, like, people-y kind of person, also. I kind of like not having other customers because it gives me time to do the dishes. But it's a secret. Don't tell anybody. I'm not in turn on my computer, booting it up and going through the data results. Our company is one of the best out there, and I'm a little proud to be so high up in rank, but I still want something more than what I'm getting here. I print off the results and scan through them, highlighting the things we need to go through and fix before walking the papers to the boss's office. He was in his chair on the phone with someone, so I knocked and waited in the doorway. He nodded to me and motioned for me to come in when he hung up. What do you got for me? I hand him the reports. We only have a few businesses that need to have their security reprogrammed, and I could send a report down to our guys to have them look at it. I don't work in IT. I don't know anybody who works in IT, so this is like off of what Google tells me that they do. And it's not the best, so I try to avoid it. The boss nods. What? His name is Mr. McIntyre, and he's never been nice to me. He had brown hair, going gray, as I've mentioned, and he had cold brown eyes. Did I mention he had gray hair? I can't say I'm a fan of him either. He sifts through the papers, looking at the highlights and just shaking his head. None of these are right. My smile falters. I'm sorry? These companies have all been handled. The data isn't in real time, and the things have all already been fixed. This is last week's. I'll look away. How do I tell him that he asked for last week's data? Sir, you asked for last week's data. This week hasn't been collected quite yet. It's only Wednesday. Whatever. Mr. McIntyre sighs. Go get me a coffee. Just how I like it. I nod. Will do, sir. I turn and head to the break room. I never come in here. When I take a lunch break, I go to the shooting range to practice. I sigh as I pull down a cup and head over to the coffee machine. I poured his cup, adding the cream and sugar he enjoyed, and stirred it in before taking it back to his office. Lewis, you are not a servant! And setting it on his desk. Sorry, I had to finish the sentence. You are not his servant! Say no. No. N-O. But he doesn't because he's a good person. Do you need anything else, sir? Mr. McIntyre shakes his head. No, thank you. Go put some things together for next week and whatever else you do. Whatever else you do? That was probably me, like, oh, I don't know what else they do, so we're just gonna roll with that. I nod. Okay. Oh my god, I don't know why I'm yawning. I turn and head back to my office, taking my seat and staring blankly at my computer screen. I didn't really know what else to do. How were my reports wrong? I highlighted what went wrong this week so we could improve, not because we had to change anything. The math isn't mathing, but I'm not good at math, so I'm gonna let it slide. Eventually, my time for lunch came around and I clocked out, walking to the shooting range next door. I love practicing my shot and I enjoy the adrenaline rush. I signed myself in, smiling at the pretty receptionist lady and putting on the headphones. I would rather have a silencer instead of wearing the big headphones that feel chunky on my head. Oh, buddy, wait until you don't get to have any of that. Instead, I head to the range and pull out my pistol. It's nothing beautiful, but if I needed to protect myself, I'd get the job done. I fiddled with the ammo. I don't feel like shooting today. I sighed, turning around and looking at the exit. Maybe today just isn't the day. I leave and sigh myself out. As I'm writing my name, the girl asks, "Why are you leaving early today?" She seemed genuinely interested. She was so pretty and really nice. "I just don't feel like it. You know, today just doesn't feel right." "It must be the weather." She smiles. "The raininess always puts me in a dreary mode." Not mode, mood. We're not like robots. I smile too. It doesn't really bother me. I kind of just go with the flow, and I kind of like when it's all cloudy. I do prefer the sunshine, not too hot. She nods. "Have a nice day, Lewis." Not me stuttering on a simple name. "Have a nice day, Lewis." My smile widens. "Thanks, you too." I wave to her as I leave, walking back to my office complex. Yeah. And sitting down with my lunchbox. I sigh, snacking on the sandwich I had packed the night before. We love a man who packs his lunch. When my break was over, I went back to the computer and began coding our new security system. I always add a little touch of me when it comes to reprogramming things, and I edit what other coworkers have come up with. It's like group project slideshows where you have like a vision for the slideshow, but your group doesn't see your vision, so they just add whatever they please, and it gets worse. I feel you, Lewis. I can't wait for my shift to be over. Only an hour left. I sneak a look around, seeing Mr. McIntyre sitting in his office, reviewing things on his computer. Smiling, I slip out my phone, entering the passcode and opening my messages. I don't have a girlfriend. I live at home with my dog, Goofus, so when I cook, it's just me and him eating. Whenever there's leftovers, they're my lunch and dinner for the next few days. Instead, I open the chat with my sister, Rochelle. I can't wait to get out of here. I hit send and slip my phone back into my pocket, finishing up some computer work before my phone vibrated. Lewis is funny too. I like Lewis though. I pointed out and saw Rochelle had responded pretty quickly. LOL, you can handle it. How's it going? Absolutely awful. I want to quit. The boss told me my data report's wrong, and I didn't have the heart to tell him it's what he'd asked for. But sir, you literally did. It literally was. You literally said, "Oh, those are last week. That's what you asked for," but okay. Well, Rochelle was typing for a few more moments before she replied, "If you're not happy, you should quit. You have a bachelor's degree. I'm sure you could get somewhere good with that. Or you could find another place that does the same thing. If it's terrible, you should talk to HR. It's not bad. I'm just sensitive, LOL. You've always been. Or you always have been." Oh, stop it. I smiled at myself. I've gotten better. A little. Okay, I think I'm going to come up there for a visit one of these days. I just have to put some gas in my car. A visit from Rochelle would be nice. I see her on holidays along with my parents. We all met down in Savannah, Georgia, but it's been a while since I've seen her. She works as the news anchor for Eyewitness 10 News. Also canon, not mine. But I don't ever see her doing stories. It's the only news channel I watch, so I don't know how I've never seen her. I would love to have you. Just let me know when you'll be here so I can have some dinner prepared. Will do. Say hi to Goofus for me. I will. I put my phone back in my pocket. This is a scene. I get, like, I'm like a child on Christmas with some of my scenes. I'm just, like, so happy and proud of them. I'm not proud of this one. I just feel like I had so much potential. A throat clears behind me at the same time, causing me to jump. A few people were staring over at me, and I knew Mr. McIntyre was behind me. I looked up and was proven correct. "What were you doing on your phone, Lewis?" "Nothing too serious, I would assume, since you had been smiling." Yeah. No, it was serious. I'm smiling to cope with the fact that I was just texted my dog died. I only have a dog. I don't have anybody else. So, I'm coping, Mr. McIntyre. No, but for real, I feel like a lot of people cope with, like, trying to make jokes out of it and, like, smiling and just trying to look on the bright side. So, anyways, speaking of, I smiled awkwardly. Sir, I was just texting my sister. We're planning to meet up soon. On office time, Mr. McIntyre raises an eyebrow and I sigh. No, sir, we were just thinking of having her come over for dinner. She lives in Ohio, so what is going on with the space typeness? So she has to drive here and stuff. I'm sorry, I won't let it happen again. No phones in the office unless you're on break. You're lucky your shift is over. I'll get the clock on the wall. Oh wow, it already is the end of my shift. I didn't get my phone out until the end of my shift, Mr. McIntyre. Yes, I was on the clock, but I was supposed to be off the clock. So if you have to go and alter my hours and put it to where I would have supposedly have to have clocked out, go right ahead, because at that time I was just on my phone. Make up the lies, Lewis. You gotta learn how to get through this. I'm not packing my things up and leaving. I climb into the car and look in the rearview mirror. What am I gonna do with myself? I pulled out of the parking lot heading home. I thought about getting some burger tank, but I changed my mind. I wouldn't have much for Goofus, and I'm running out of dog food. I pull into the parking lot and open my door, greeting a rowdy Goofus as he wags his tail and barks pants at me. Goofus is a purebred Cocker Spaniel, and he was one of the funniest dogs I had ever met. I feel like I just put that in there for the name. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I've got the maturity of a 12-year-old boy, but we'll roll with it. I crouched down and rubbed behind his ears. Who's a good boy? You are, yes you are. I pat his head and head into the kitchen, him following. I set my stuff down and undo my tie, laying it across the back of a chair. Pretty sure it's supposed to say back. I close my eyes and Goofus barks. I sigh again, looking down at him. Oh, hey buddy, you want some food? I grab the bag of food, pouring the rest of it into his bowl. That kind of sounds like you're taunting him. Do you want some food? I was going to have to get more, but I hate grocery shopping. I threw the bag away and made sure Goofus was happily eating before slipping outside to grab my mail. I shuffled through it, seeing that rent would soon be going up. I get it, the economy has to change and all, but I'm already paying $781. Ugh. This is in like close to 2010, give or take a couple years. 2008, 2010. I can only imagine what it's like in 2024. I don't need anything more. Speaking of, rent was due. I set the mail down and get out some ramen noodles. I guess this is what I'm eating tonight. I pull out my phone, sending Rochelle a quick text, reminding her to get back to me. Believe it or not, she's always been a bit scatterbrained. She has her life together, but her boyfriend Jacob isn't always the nicest. You're gonna need to give more details, bud. He's a cool guy, but he's a bit controlling. It makes me mad because Rochelle doesn't deserve some of the bull she has to put up with. She's a good woman, and she'll figure things out. I sit at the table and push my noodles around. I eat a form of pasta almost every day. It's mostly cheap, but I tire of it quickly. Goofus was happily chowing down on his food, which reminded me I would need more. I pull over a small notebook and open it to the next blank page. I make a checkbox, writing dog food next to it. I make the rest of my grocery list and lean back in my chair. I'm not hungry, but I don't want to waste my dinner by giving it to the dog. I was hungry when I got home, but it just kind of went away. Instead, I pushed my plate away, exchanging it for my computer. I check my emails, deleting most of them and sighing. My phone dings, and I see Rochelle sent me a text saying she would text me when she was on her way, but she would come sometime soon. I wonder if she's been trying to start a family. She's a little older than me, only 2 years, but she's still more mature. If she were to become a mom, she'd be a damn good one. I smiled at the text, replying with a quick okay, before heading to the living room and booting up my Xbox. No. Oh, gamer boy Lewis, gay. I played for about an hour, managing to earn another achievement. I smiled, proud of myself, as I logged out and went to the bathroom. I took a nice long shower, enjoying the company of the water. The company. So, do you talk to it? Today was rough, but tomorrow will be better. I reheat my ramen noodles and eat them. I wash the dishes and lock the door before taking Goofus upstairs, climbing into bed and staring at the ceiling. I wasn't excited for work tomorrow. I only get Sundays off for church. I was raised to be a God-fearing man, and it was all thanks to my dad. I miss him. It's a little bit cringe, Lewis. It's a little bit cringe. Not the fact that you're a God-fearing man. I just kind of feel like that whole sentence turned out to be a little bit cringe, because what the heck? I feel like it could be worded better, but we're gonna leave it because it's a fan fiction, so I get away with it. I have to miss my dad, my mom too. I wish I could go back to being a kid where I don't have to worry about adult things like groceries, where I could spend my days playing tag with Rochelle, making fun of her love interests. I sighed, closing my eyes and finally falling asleep. And that's the end of Lewis. Lewis, that ended so quickly and so cornerly. I'm kind of sad, very, very not interesting and not capturing, but that's it for Lewis. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys next week for Bill's point of view, and then we're going to be cycling back through Zoe's in the same order. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.